Greetings everyone! Today we're going to take a trip back in time, before Chrome, Firefox, or even Internet Explorer existed. We are going to take a look at the browser it dominated in the 90s, Netscape Navigator. Our story begins with NCSA Mosaic, a web browser. Mosaic was many people's first web browser, as most browsers at the time were not available to the average person. Mosaic was well received by the public. This is most likely due to the fact that it was available on a number of platforms. Mosaic was available on Windows, Unix, Mac OS, and Amiga OS. Part of the Mosaic team decided to create their own browser. This resulted in Netscape Navigator. In late 1994, Netscape announced that everyone, with the exception of commercial users, would get Netscape for free. They also periodically allowed the public to try out some of the early beta releases. But in December of 1994, version 1.0 of Netscape Navigator had been released. However, shortly after its release, Netscape decided to charge everyone for their browser, with the exception of educational and nonprofit businesses, who could get their software for free. With more and more people starting to use the internet, Netscape was in a good position. On the technical side of things, Netscape was the most advanced browsers. The other browsers tried to catch up with Netscape, but continued to add new features. Netscape was the most popular browser and seemed unstoppable. However, this was soon to change when Microsoft, using Mosaic source code, created Internet Explorer. The first couple of versions of Microsoft's browser were pretty rough. They lacked many features and experienced problems loading web pages. However, this all changed in 1996 with the release of IE 3.0. Netscape had some competition. Since Internet Explorer was packaged with Windows, many people just decided to use it rather than downloading Netscape. Notably, in the late 90s, there was an antitrust case against Internet Explorer and Microsoft, but in the end, they were able to keep their browser. This was very bad for Netscape, as many people just used Internet Explorer, who needed to download Netscape when you could just use a perfectly good browser that came with your operating system. With a dated design and many other issues, Netscape was more or less dead. Netscape's code was made open source, and Netscape was bought out by AOL. I believe that Netscape Navigator is worth remembering, as today, Mozilla Firefox wouldn't be around if it weren't for Netscape's code. In fact, because of how innovative Netscape was, many of the things we use in our browsers today were first introduced by Netscape. It is for these reasons that the tale of Netscape is a tale to be remembered.